y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashie. Hello, Dashie. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Something about wraithx.eth domain names we thoroughly enjoy. Let me go and chuck my OMI homie hat on. Oh yes, give me the good head coverage. So a bunch of stuff to go over. We have about 1 week left. We got about 1 week and 1 day left for the Kahn Pokemon card auction giveaway. Basically, I'll go to it right now. I'll read it to you guys. I've shared this on Twitter before. I'll read it to you again. Basically, there are 2 cards being auctioned off. One is a base set Charizard. The other is an Aquapolis Gyarados. It's one of my favorite shirts. The Gyarados is a raffle. Again, go to go to my Twitter page. I just shared the link. Lori Brenner shared it. Kahn just shared it recently. 2 cards up for auction. One is a raffle, where every $10 or every donation of $10 that you send to oh god, where is it? Where did you go? It is a $10 donation is 1 entry, and it is to, oh my god, where the heck did it go? I could have sworn it's on this. If it's not, then I'm tripping. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It is first. So the number 1 ST RCF. R as in Romeo, C as in Charlie, F as in Foxtrot. Actually, let me put it down there. First RFC, or I'm sorry, RCF.org. Let me go and put the link down in the comments. I'll go to, oh god, what the heck is that? Let me go to my channel. Let me go to my lives. And basically, yes, continue as me. No, what is my bedroom Roku? I don't want that. It says YouTube is so weird sometimes. First, so and that does stand for, oh god, this is ridiculous. It is the First Responders Children's Foundation. So 1 STRCF. Hold on. .org. So I just put the link down below. And you have up until the 3rd at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time to go and put your donation in. When you get that, you're going to send it to, it's going to be Queen's Court Charity at gmail.com. I'll put that in there as well. Queen's Court Charity at gmail.com. I put that link down below as well. What you're going to do is you're going to go and screenshot your reference number that says, oh, hey, I donated $10, and each donation is an entry. That card, I would say, is worth about $250 on its own. And it would be, that's without Al's signature, which he's going to sign it. And that would be I think there's only like 8 or 10 entries, so you have a pretty good chance. I've only put in one entry. I'll probably put in 2 or 3 more, just because, again, if we only have, let's say like 40 entries by the time it's done, and I have a 10% chance of winning, then that's Alcon's signature, we're not sure what it's going to do to the value. I would say because everyone else that has a Pokemon card with his signature on it is not, they're not selling. So right now we don't have any data to go by. I don't know if it's going to increase the worth by 50% or if it's going to increase the net worth by 3x. I don't know. It could be anywhere in between. It could be above that. It could be below that. But that by itself is, I would say, worth about $250 in a grade 8, which it should grade probably a 9, which would make it about $400. If it grades a 10, which it might get, that'd be $2,000. The base set Charizard is completely different. That alone is, at a grade 8, is worth hundreds of dollars. At a PSA 9, which I think it would get pretty easily, that's worth $1,000. And that one is a different one. The Charizard is not a raffle, that's a silent auction. Contact Lori Brenner about that. I think that, and again, that's without Al's signature, and obviously Al's going to sign that, and that card does come with utility as well. It is a 15-minute phone call, personal phone call with Kahn. It's not just him on Spaces where just me and Lori are asking questions. It's not just an interview with me where I'm just asking the questions. You could ask him whatever you want. And I'm not sure that's the best idea because you might ask him something, and he might give away something that Vivi's doing. Guys, if you're asking about something and he gives something away he's not supposed to, please keep that to yourself. For the love of all that is holy, please keep that to yourself. So yeah, those are very two amazing things that I'm. Hopefully I win. If I do, great. If not, no big deal. I don't think I'm gonna win that Charizard though. It's fun to enter, and some people, someone might get a little something if they even just enter. I'm not sure what exactly that would be, but yeah, so, some people who even just go to bid on it, they might get a little something as well. I don't know, maybe. Anywho, I have some OMI news to go over as well. I'm going to go and do that right now. Oh, all right. I guess we have an update from Veve as well on the Discord. It says, in honor of the Journey into Mystery number 83 comic drop that we have some great giveaways from our amazing community in tomorrow's drop at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Special thanks to Comic Club and FlexiCat for these in real life comics. You have a in real life Thor comic. You got Torpedo Comics. Is that? Oh, Serial Authenticity, signed by Jason Aaron. That's pretty legit. You have another one. It's Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor. Oh, that's really cool. Who's the artist in that? It's a variant edition. I don't think I know. And then you have Jane, the Mighty Thor, on there as well. That's a black version of her. That's really interesting. And then you have another Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor. These are some really good ones. Jane and the Mighty Thor. Wow, we have a bunch of these. And a Journey into Mystery Marvel Funko Pop. That's really cool with Thor as well. So that's pretty dope. So yeah, go to the Veve Discord if you want to learn more about that. Moving on, we have a bunch of news to go over. Let's see where we're standing at. Some good news in case you missed my video this morning. We have less market sellers this week, down to about 23% to 7.3 thousand. The tokens minted is about up to 37,000 tokens that were minted, which is up about 100% since the week before. Again, this is the week of the 19th to yesterday. And then the amount of minters, the people that bought from the store, is up 19% to 11,490. So that was pretty legit. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they changed it. Originally, you had to have a minimum balance of 1,000 gems in order to cash out. They lowered it to 500. It's back up to 1,000 now. I'm not 100% sure why. We haven't got an answer yet. Again, it's the holidays. We'll hopefully by the end of the year they'll answer, or they will come back next year in full swing. Sleepin' Comics had on his Spaces today a giveaway. You should all follow Sleepin' Comics, not just because him and Comics and Crypto are two of the best people that you could follow for comic advice and comic knowledge, but he did do a giveaway of a Marvel Funko Pop, a Miles Morales one. The Ultimate Fallout one, that was at 3 p.m. today, but definitely follow him. He's probably likely to do something like that in the future. Okay, land sales. I had a question saying like, hey, how is Veve going to make money via land sale when they're just going to take the OMI and they're just going to burn it? And even though it's not 100% confirmed, it has been heavily hinted that land sale would be an OMI and that OMI would be burned. They will obviously make money on the resales of that land. Again, it is, even though Veveverse is a separate company, you should still have fees associated with reselling it. It should be in their contracts that they should, every time it sells or resells, they should be able to make something. And that's why it's the secondary market is huge. Secondary market, I wish we had the data. We probably do. It'd take forever to go through on how much money Veve makes from the secondary market versus the actual market, because that means a lot. It's a very, very, very big difference. Yeah, if you want some other types of NFTs, you link to the utility Discord down below. Omar Singh is in charge of that one. He'll have Winks as the first drop on that next quarter. And Earth 2, obviously down below as well. Link to the game, link to my Megacity, and link to my referral code as well. Do that. If you're going to buy land, you get a discount. So some of the new the new whales that we have that I wasn't 100% sure who they are, they're called Emprendedoros. Emprendedoros has about 250,000 subscribers over on the YouTube. At the 17-minute mark, where it says Facebook tiene una ventaja injusta, episodio number 169. That is their most recent video, and at the 17-minute mark, around 17:44, they do talk about Veve. I thought that was really interesting. And again, I think that person is a Dr. Profit tagged them, so I'm pretty sure they're a whale, like a big whale. Again, you don't have 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. They have 14 million views on the channel total. You don't have that and just not make money. Like they're definitely making some of that cheddar. And if I am correct in this, I think he was like a movie producer and retired, and then he, just does this for fun. But yeah, they do have about 14.9 million views on their stuff. And they have on the Twitter and it's Salamandrin, 307,000 followers over on the Twitter, which is really great. In other news, there's a guy named Dai Li. Is that all right, so in Avatar, in Ba Sing Se, there is no war in Ba Sing Se. Sorry, I had to do that. What's her name? The evil chick, Zuko's sister. Forget her name. Took over Ba Sing Se. She has this little secret police called the Dai Li. I didn't know if that's a reference to this guy. It's Dae Lee. Anyway, or Daily. Daily, I guess, could be another. Anyway, he posts a photo of Disney villains, and he's saying, "Oh, hey, didn't know the villains were a thing." But yeah, Disney didn't just Veve didn't just pull it out of their butt. It is a real thing that is modeled after an already existing Disney product. So maybe they might get a little bump at some point. Who knows? Shout out to Biscuits, who won my last prize, the 50,000 OMI giveaway, and she won it. And she said, "Oh, hey, because I do photography for a living, it wasn't really fair. You give it to whoever came in second," which happened to be Some Girl Brittany. So Some Girl Brittany does get that. Gave it to her before. Despite her having horrible internet, she's on a cruise right now. So yeah, I'll be me and Jordan Reese will be doing a lot more giveaways next year, especially as OMI goes up. This is going to be probably not a monthly thing for me. Again, if OMI goes up, this will be a monthly thing. And it'll be in greater numbers. Like it'll be not just 50,000 OMI. Or I mean, when OMI goes up, 50,000 OMI will obviously be a lot more. So it might be less, but the value would be worth more. Anyway, moving on. Dr. Profit going out and saying, VR gets more realistic each year. Looking forward to the future. And then it's a meme, and the meme reads, in case you're just listening out watching, "Whoa, the VR is so realistic." And then it shows the picture saying, "Bank account, your current balance is negative 1,300 euro." And then the last panel is just him crying. But he did tag Salamandrin on it, which is the person that has the 300,000 followers on Twitter, and the person that has 250,000 subscribers over on YouTube. That did mention Veve and OMI, so I'm very excited about that. In other news, one of our future grails, Miles Morales, has sold twice in the last couple of weeks for about 6K each. So yeah, even though he's not at like the 8 or 9K he was at, there's still people buying him down here. The floor price I think currently is about 6K. But again, with 250 editions of that, even though they kept 90, there's really only 160 that could really ever be available. I mean, at some point they'll do some for giveaways and whatever, but that's really cool. Like, this is really dope. This is wild. There's so few of those. Again, future grail in my opinion. And no, I do not have him. It's just something that I'm very, very bullish on. That I could picture. I don't know. Next bull run, what does it do? 10x from here, be 60,000. That's very easy to do. I don't think that's outside of the realm of possibility at all. I think we can do that very, very simply. Anywho, let me get to some comments here. Zolad Michael says, "I have to tell you, 30 million OMI, working on 50, yet now I feel like I'll have to still ask for Veve welfare with all these people buying it up. I should apply now, or get a Veve fund. Get a Veve fund me." I mean, 30 million is nothing to sneeze at. That's a really, really good amount. Now, obviously, never enough. It's in my opinion. Oh, something about Wraith a DTH domain name. I don't know if I said that before. For me, you can never have enough OMI. It's like that weird cartoon in between commercials in Nickelodeon back in the day. where this little stick figure eats all the chips in the world. It's like, oh, I can never have enough chips. You can never have enough OMI. Um, when I had 50, like 30 million, wanted 40, wanted 50, wanted 69, 75, okay, 88, and then somehow got 100, which was insane. And then, slowly but surely over the course of the last, year, get a little bit more, 107, 109, 113, 130. I think 150 is impossible. And then I get up to 150. Now I have like 150.2. Yeah. So this is, again, and if I was, whether I do something crazy and I get another, $10,000 or, however much, I will always put more into it as long as the price is that 000. It's no question. This is, again, for me, I could have 200 million OMI. Oh, I get 100,000 out of nowhere. A third of it would go in. Half of it would go in probably, because until I see another investment that is as good, or that's, and again, there are safer things than OMI. Like Bitcoin is arguably safer. Tesla stock is arguably safer. And but between it being in all the details safe, what's the best ROI? The best ROI might be from a crap coin that has 18 trillion, tokens, and they're, 0.80, like 8 zeros or 12 zeros, 1. Okay, yes, that might do 1,000x overnight, because it might, but you could also lose absolutely everything. I think OMI is the best culmination of everything put together. Again, that's just my opinion. That's of the hat and how much I have. Yeah. Anywho, moving on. Wes says Zaddy Chavez still working on holidays. Yeah, I have not missed. I missed a week when I had my birthday cruise. So that is, and then because of that, the YouTube algorithm decided to slaughter me. They lose subscribers, and videos getting about half the amount of views that they used to. So yeah, 1 week and just undid pretty much everything. So I will not be taking another vacation for quite a long time. I might have to rethink a couple vacations next year. We shall see. Or at least I'll make sure to go somewhere that has good internet where I could upload and I can go live and all that jazz. So yeah. Wes says, why are you big on season 1 sub 100s? Because they're so few and so far between. They're just, let's look at it this way. Like, how many millions of tokens were minted? Which arguably season 1 did not have a ton. I think a lot of the max of season 1s were like, oh, okay, 75, like for the Batman. For each set, the max supply of the most common one was 7,500. Whether it's Batman, Joker, Harley Quinn, and then after that, then you had a couple of different things like the DeLoreans. That's the first time they really experimented with with a lot of those. And then there's nothing in season 1 that's not sold out. I don't think there's anything in season 2 that's not sold out either. Season 3, there might be 1 or 2 things which they might be burned by now, like the Captain Americas were burned. Like a lot of those are burned, like tens of thousands. I think like 13,000 of the common. I think maybe only about 1,300 of the uncommon. But a lot of things are burned, and I think just with the amount of stuff that goes on, season 1 is just going to be that's base set. There might seem like a lot of sets, but again, seasons were like 6 months, 8 months apart, and you have drops now we have multiple drops every single week, or sometimes multiple drops a day. You did not have that in season 1. You did not have multiple drops a day. I don't even think there was a time where you had more than 1 drop a week, and even that was pushing it sometimes. Sometimes it was every other week. We didn't have the marketplace open for like a month. It was wild. There was just a lot. What about season 1? The first generation of Pokemon, they were just getting the kinks worked out. There's so many kinks in that game. There's so many ways to exploit it for for that first season of Eevee, there's so many errors. Like Eddie Riso is a first edition. What? Like the uh, Stephen Pugh Harley Quinn is a first edition. What? Even though that's the most valuable Harley Quinn, even though it's not a first appearance. Does the error give it that? No, but it's more. I mean, a little bit. It's the first. Yeah, it's Harley Quinn in color. It's got 500 editions. It's really really scarce. Um, yeah, season one has so many layers to it. The first time that you had Asia only drops, where you had to know someone in Asia that went and got Powerpuff Girls and Adventure Time, and that's why you had the things with the Donnies, and it was wild. It's the first thing to ever be listed for 100 grand. I mean, seriously, as in like there's no other cheaper options. Um, and again, the longer you go, like I said, I don't put almost anything against Cryptkins, and if it's halfway decent, it'll probably outperform. That being said, there are so few people that are ever going to be able to complete all of season one in general. I'd less than 500 because you have the Stephen Pugh Harley Quinn. So in general, there's less than 500 people. I mean, probably less than like 50 because you have the Donnies that are just so scarce. Um, yeah, so there's probably going to be only a couple dozen people to ever really uh, get that season one. But to get that season one in a sub 100 set, you can't. So it's just that added layer. It's season one, having all the complete sets and sub 100s. Again, a lot of those season ones are just you can't find. Not the sub 100s. They just don't exist. And there's some in the later generations that, oh, this collectible doesn't have a sub 100. That's interesting. Uh, but I was first. What happens to season one will happen to season two, season three, so on and so forth. It's just going to happen to season one first, and then so you'll see that's why I'm pretty bullish on it. William Peartree said, "What's up, Brandy? Great seeing you. Oh, great seeing you too. Oh, ow, Tamara Hannah says, Happy holidays. Happy holidays, Tamara. I hope you're doing really, really well. I hope everything's going good with the fam and everything's going well with work and all that. And I hope to see you soon at the next event." William Peartree says, "What a tough market." Yeah, it is. I mean, there's a bunch of deals on the market. Like it's a like a lot of people call it a bear market, which you can call it that, and it is that. But a better way to look at it is it being a buyer's market. This is a heavy, heavy dip. This is a heavy, heavy valley that we're going into, and we probably haven't seen bottom yet. It's possible that we might have. I mean, how much lower can the partner statue go? 2,500, pretty heckin' low. Um, but I argue that the better way to look at it is a buyer's market. Are None of my whales have stopped buying. There are zero people that are long on this project that have stopped buying. Every single one that I know that has at least a six-figure investment in this is still buying. And I don't mean, oh, I spent 5 grand and it blew up to six figures and now it's down. No, I mean physically actually put six figures into this. I don't think any of them have stopped. Some might have slowed down a little bit because if you're like me and you put everything in and you have nothing left, yeah, you can't make a rock bleed. I mean, I guess you can if you've seen the movie Evolution, but yeah, I've been very happy to buy a lot of. I mean, I've been focusing on the Mighties. Some people focus on like the strangest things. Some people focusing on bat signal because that's cool, and if people are going to be homeowners in the Viviverse and you want a bat signal, well, yeah, I have one too. They're cool. Maybe you want them because, okay, you're going to have four corners to your castle and you want one in each corner, and maybe you're going to have multiple properties. That could make sense too. Yeah, it's one of those items that I think, a lot of people would want. That's why they have the 8,888 of them, to go with a bunch of the, um, to go with their Batman. There's more than 8,000 or 9,000, Batman collectibles out there. So there's a lot. Um, yeah, I'm very again. People are some people are stacking Plutos, some people are stacking Ultraman. This one dude I met at VCon was stacking Secret Rare Electras. What? And then his well, they're either going to fix her or they're going to leave her looking like crap. Which future do you see for Vivi? And I was like, okay, yeah, they're probably going to fix her. I was like, okay, well, what do you think happens after they fix her? Okay, yeah, yeah, probably more popularity, and it's like, do you think she's done? After the Daredevil series, like, no, she's a great character. They'll probably have her in the MCU. Yeah, it's like okay, and this guy's like schooling me, like, hey, this is why I'm doing this. Like, okay, all right, I see it. At the time, and this was back in like April or May or whatever, or March, April, something like that. It was what do you call it? He had like 123. I was like, okay, fair point. Um, there's a lot of other things that like there's some people that have Nessies. There's some people that are stacking Cryptkins. Brock McGuachain is stacking Korras for like whatever reason. I think because it's silly and it's fun, and Korras are going to be in the Feesh video game, so I think he's going to rent them out as well. Not that you're going to be able to ride around with them in the Feesh verse, although maybe at some point. But they're just going to fit in the Feesh mech suits. So you have different people stacking things for different reasons. I'm stacking the Mighties because there's a lot of different. I did the math on it the other day. Let me see if I can break that out again, because that's an important statistic which nobody else has guaranteed. Nobody else has done. Nobody else has done that math. Out of the 47 individual characters in the Marvel Mighties, each obviously you can only have 59 sub 100s right now, because 41 through 99, 59 each. You get 2,773 of them. So out of the 2,773 that make up the sub 100s, you have that's a very small percentage of the entire Marvel Mighties that are out there. The entire Marvel Mighties make up 452,142. Now that is not including the 90 that Vivi withholds. That is, in the ether right now. I'm not counting that right now. So, okay, well, what is 2,773, the amount of sub 100s there are, divided by the entire supply of Mighties of the 452,142? That is 0.006133029. That is slightly more than 1/2 of 1%. So take 1%, and then you cut it in half, and that's about the supply of the sub 100s. That is not a lot at all. So I have, I think, 4%. I have 4% of the sub 100s for the Marvel Mighties. That I think is the most amount of percent that I have of any one collectible. And I think that might be the most percent that anybody else has in one series. Now, you could have somebody. Actually, no, that's a lie. There is somebody that has the Deadpool Mighties. Yeah, and he's got most of the sub 100s Deadpool, which again, this is something that not that I don't understand. I get it. This is not the first appearance Deadpool. The first appearance Deadpool is the Christmas sweater Deadpool, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I wish it wasn't. I wish he didn't have a Christmas sweater on." You think like that's completely in character for Deadpool? He's gonna mess up his own first appearance by having a Christmas sweater. That's just something that he would do. But yeah, this little guy, there's 13,000 of him, right? There's a lot. You're never like 1% of the supply would be 130. That's a large amount. 1,300. Yeah, it'd be 130. You have to do that. But having said that, and again, the floor price is nothing to write home about. It's $6.21. But this guy Skukelvutz has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 of the sub 100s, at least the ones that are listed. And it's like, damn. There's like, why that one? Well, Wade is a really awesome character, and he's cool, and But again, why that one? Why not get the actual first appearance? Why not get something that's animated? Why not, I don't know. Maybe, Deadpool's awesome. He's one of my favorite characters. But yeah, people are so strange with what they collect, and people are so strange um, with what they do. Which again, I'm not faulting anyone for that. I have 77 of the Lady Deadpools. The Wanda. I don't know if they ever do her middle name. It's just Wanda Wilson, but nobody knows who this one is. Like, unless you're a comic book reader, you don't know who Lady Deadpool is. And if you kind of know her, I guarantee you didn't know she was Wanda Wilson. It's you just collect what you like, and you can't help it. Some people just like really obscure, weird things. Um, I forget what this question even was. Oh yeah, what a tough market. It is, but it's a buyer's market. If you buy what you like and you get a cheap price, you're not going to lose. I mean, what's the risk to buying what you like? If it makes you happy, there inherently is no risk. It's just I'm gonna buy this and I'm gonna spend my money on it. I didn't say invest, I said spend because some people aren't really looking for returns. Some people just like showing off. Some people just like it because it makes them happy. How do you know how many people I know that I went to school with that don't have a pot to piss in? And it's like, ooh, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna go to Disney. I'm gonna buy these Hallmark what's that called? Christmas ornaments in July, and it's like, my guy, you have like 3 trees worth of ornaments. Do you need more? And it's like, but it makes them happy. Like again, who's better at life? Is it the super smart person that's miserable, or it's the person that is, maybe not that way, but is very happy? You tell me who's living a better life. Um, I like being around happy people. Like I get it, misery loves company, but so do happy people. Sue me. So I really like. I don't like it when people lose money, but I do like when the market's down and I can buy more of the stuff that I like at a cheap price. And all the people that have money do as well. Granted, they might do it for a little bit more of a reason because they're going to make more money with it. But all chat gaming is a straight fire. Yeah, what up? Bill Gardner says, Randy, why, hello, Bill Gardner. I hope you're doing well. And there's me. That's the first responders children'sfoundation.org, link down below, and the Queen's Court Charity at Gmail. That's where you send, when you do a $10 donation, you send the screenshot there of the reference number, and she'll give you an A-OK, like, hey, here's your raffle ticket. Richard Samuel says, hi, Randy. Meow, meow. Hi, Richard. OMI Panda says, evening, Randy, Dashi, and fam. How are y'all doing? I've also been having a really good time with OpenAI. That's been a really fun thing to do. Um, I asked before on how Ukraine could defeat Russia quickly. I also besmelt Ukraine. Oh God, I'm an idiot. And it said it's not appropriate to discuss strategies for defeating or attacking any specific country. In any case, military conflict could be avoided as much as possible. Blah, 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 blah. It's basically just saying, don't do that. This guy Plan Flug says, I asked it to write a Python code virus loop and told me no, stupid AI. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's good. That's really good. What questions do you have for AI? I might do a thing on it at some point. I'll let y'all know. Moving on. Smarty Pants 187 says, what up, Randy? What up, Smarty Pants? How you doing, fam? BB Zombie says, hey, Randy, do you think there's a way to change the MCP where higher value NFTs get more points? I mean, we don't really know 100% what all the details will be in the MCP rollout. They'll tell us, and I think at some point it'll probably shift that way. Oh my God, water is the best liquid on this earth. Yeah, I would say wait for MCP to come out, and then they'll probably skew something in favor of that. Omar Kasaja says, good evening and merry belated Christmas. Good evening, Omar. Omar says, I can't believe I met Al at the place I help out often. I'm very, very jealous. Color me jealous. Oh God, what's that Green Day song? Good, like Well, no, God, it's I think it's Wondering or Downtown. It's like I've been waiting a long time for this, and then at one point they say like, "Dumbstruck, color me stupid, good luck." Yeah, that's you're gonna need it. Sorry, yeah, color me jealous, Omar, because I love that man, and yeah, I've talked to him a few times, and I'll talk to him again at some point, but yeah, I'm quite jealous that you got to see him in person. Chago Solo says, "Good evening, fam." Good evening, Chago. Jordan says, "Yo, Randy, what up, Jordan? How's it going, fam? I talked about you before. All good things. All good things. Talked about you. I think in my last video as well." I am Hurst says, "Good morning from East Thailand." Oh, good morning. I am the Hurst from East Thailand. Bill Gardner says, "And Earth 2 has side droids released on the test site." Bill Gardner, have you gone and tested that out? Have you done the stuff? Let me know because I am very excited to learn about that. Oh God, hiccups. Oh no. Jordan Reese says, "Never, never enough OMI. If it stays low enough for long enough, I will sell my AMZ company to double my OMI holdings." It's a. I. We should talk, because there are a lot of reasons to go and buy OMI. And I will say publicly that, well, I'm already all in, so everyone knows that's where I stand. Um, and I've been all in for like a year, I guess. Every time I get more money, it just goes into OMI. Yeah, we should talk. Yuki says, "Are you in favor for paywall customization of skins or free customize as you wish, like in VR chat?" It depends on what exactly we're talking about. Like, let's say if you have a Cryptkin world, right? Let's say if you have a Cryptkin metaverse inside the Viviverse, that's probably the last license I expect to happen. But let's say we do. Let's say we have that, right? And also, Yuki, it's good to see you. It's been a while. I would say that you shouldn't have to buy a Cryptkin in order to play it. Although, I mean, it's like $7, right? Yeah, like what was the cheapest Cryptkin? Like $8. And I get it. I get it. Parents that are working paycheck to paychecks, like, listen, kid, barely have enough money for lunch for you. I don't want to give you $8, which could be another couple of meals. Again, if you're poor, you are very, very good at scrimping. $8 can buy you a decent amount of beans and rice, and that could be meals for a couple days. We can have a couple of days of food, or we could buy this for you, and you could play your game. That being said, I don't think that's not our target audience. I think the target audience would be lower middle class and above, or because again, if you're destitute and going paycheck to paycheck, buying these little things just to game might not. I mean, again, you could do that and you can gamble. I mean, how do you move classes? You move classes by taking risk. I was born in Peru. I was born in a third world country. This is, and again, not like to pat myself on the back. I did not get here alone. I had a lot of help. Um, but to move just even from, like below the poverty line to lower middle class is an achievement. And then going from lower middle class to just middle class is wild. And then, it's each time you level up should be celebrated. But anyway, I digress. If you want a game to have mass adoption, you can't just limit it to what the 50,000 Kryptons there are. I don't think there are that many. Let's take a look. Let's go to the Veve app, and let's go to the Kryptons. And again, I don't think they would do it with this. I don't think there's enough of them. Chupacabra had 9,000, which means the Bigfoot's 9,018. And there's two other commons, right? Yeah, so there's, what was that, 36,000. And what are the uncommons? Uncommons are 6,000, and I think there's only two of those. Oh no, there's four of those. That's 24,000 plus the 36,000, so it's about 60,000. And then how many rares? I think there's two rares at 4,000 each, so that's about 48,000. And then there's one ultra rare, right? Oh no, there's 3 rares. Okay, so what did I say? That was 68, so 72. And then the ultra rare is 2,800. So yeah, having almost 75,000 is good, but you're not gonna 74,800. You're not gonna go and get a million people playing the game if there's only 78,000 characters where you could possibly have to play it. I think that in order to have the game grow, you would have to have a basic avatar. With that though, I don't think you should be able to customize it in that particular game, because that if you and like 8 other people have the same avatar, if you can customize it, then that disincentivizes you to go and buy the other Cryptkins. I think that if you go and you have if it's just a plain flat, boring gray or brown, avatar, whatever it's called, then you are incentivized to go and buy the avatars to make it like, oh, hey, I have this one. Because this way you get that element of people can play it for free, but then you have that other element of incentive saying like, oh man, I'm the poor guy on the block that has to play for free. But then you can kind of with pride say, oh, I have my own, and you can show that you have your own, and that's really cool. Like, and that's an achievable goal. Granted, that's achievable right now when Cryptkins are $7. But if this was going to be a thing, that's not a lot. People will push that up, especially when burning comes in. When burning comes in, well, mostly I think it's going to be with comics, as long as they don't make that distinction collectible versus comic, because there's a bunch of common comics out there for like $2. Is wild. So yeah. Moving on. What was I saying? But if you're talking about avatars in the actual Veve-verse, well, they partner with Ready Player Me, so you are going to have your avatar be as customizable as possible. Now, maybe if you have, dude, that'd be wild if it says like, if you have a Nessie Cryptkin, it unlocks a Nessie suit for you, and you're like this normal dude rolling in the Veve-verse, but you have a Loch Ness Monster hoodie on. That would be so cool. Oh, that'd be dope. Oh, that'd be so legit. I would love that. I would love that AF. Jordan Reese says, love the hat. Oh, thank you. Justin says, big Hassan Chavez. I'm the Her says, have they mentioned recently anything about burning collectibles held in dead bot accounts? No, right. I would just consider those frozen for Right Meow. I don't know if I would consider those burned. That'd be great if they that'd be great if they had that. I don't know what happens after a year. I think they might have mentioned it. I really forget what that was. You would have to go. I could ask them again next time I have them on stream or on video, whatever. Because yeah, that'd be great for burning events. That'd be great. And again, Reese had said, I mentioned this to Reese, and it'll probably be implemented at some point where, and you could be able to turn this notification on or off. Let's say if you really like Myrmicornos, and you say like, well, I love these and I want to know what's happening with them at all times. At some point, when somebody burns a Myrmicorno, because they will, you could have a notification set to every time someone burns something of a collectible that you like. It doesn't have to be Myrmicornos. It could be Supergirl. It could be, Mira. Every time someone burns it, you'll get a notification on your phone if you enable those notifications. It'll be like Hunger Games. Whenever someone dies, I messed that up. Whenever someone dies, you see, like, you hear the boom, the cannon shot, and then you see their names and their faces come up in lights on the big screen. You'll have something similar when we have burns. And I forget what the actual question was. Yeah, so I don't know 100% what they're going to do. I'd like them to resell them and like auction it off and have the auction be an OMI and then have the OMI be burned. I think that would be great. Veve doesn't have to go and Veve doesn't have to go and double dip and make more money on it. They can if they want. But I would like to see them auctioned off in OMI and have that OMI burned. I think that would be fun. Because there's probably some really cool stuff in there. Bill Garner says, my daughter bought me the Miles Morales pop for Christmas. Now I have to buy the NFT. Okay, that's so cool, dude. Your daughter's so cool. I would say, which one are you gonna buy though? Are you gonna buy the Miles? Is it gonna be the comic? Is it gonna be the collectible? If so, which one? Keep me posted. All right, where was I? Yeah. I'm the Her says, been leaning toward a ton of cheap MCP points. Yeah, you could get a lot of good stuff for very, very cheap. Smarty Pants 187 says, I'm also stacking Ultraman. Speaking of stacks, not just Pluto. I got 55 Ultraman. I remember you had a bunch. I think you only had 30 something at the time. 55 Ultraman Ace from the original anime version, about 50 Ultraman Ace from the live edition, and dozens of other Ultraman too. I think I do remember that. I am gonna go and see what other stuff, because you that had to be, it was in November, clearly. Let's see when that was. I guess it was the 18th. So let's start on the 16th. Oh, there's a whiskey I had for. Oh, sorry, my friend's partner had passed away like literally that day, and I had a shot of whiskey for her. There's Taps's butt. Let's see what else we got here. I am looking for. I wonder how the Brett Crawford thing is doing. I think the Brett Crawford thing. Oh, there's the. There's me, friend BJ. There's Toby. There's Gary Baseman, David Yu. That was a fun day. That was a good. That was a good meal. Where the heck is those photos? Okay, yes. So you had. At the time, you had 37 Ultraman Ace. You had Ultraman Aces. You had 37 of those, and you had 2 Diamonds Are Forever James Bond posters. I'm sure. I'm 100% positive you had more. I didn't. I don't know where that particular video went, because I had a big video. Oh no, is this it? No, that's not it. I had a big video of it as well. Okay, maybe that was your friend's account that had the number 41 common and uncommon Thors, the number 42 and 43 rare and uncommon Thors, the number 44 ultra rare Thor, and the number 41 ultra rare Boba Fett. Oh my god, the number 41 ultra rare Boba Fett. Oh, take me now, I love you. And then what is the DeLorean here? Number 41 ultra rare DeLorean. That's so heckin' amazing. These are, god, this is not real. The number 118 and 248 secret rare Miles Morales had 2 of those. The number 35 and number 35, Finn and Jake from Adventure Time. That's sub 40s. That's insane. Number 41, Batman vs. Flash. The number 41 secret rare Sleepy Beauty. This guy had most of the Sleeping Beauty, most of those Disney posters. Yep, the number 41 Pirates of the Caribbean and Big Thunder Mountain as well. This is one of the most incredible collections that I've ever seen. The same way that Qui-Gon Jinn says he has the most midichlorians I've ever seen in a life form. This is and the number 41 secret rare Albatron, and the number 45 It's a Small World. You didn't have that. Your friend didn't have the number 41 for that one. Almost a 41 set. Had the number 120 partner statue, and the number 55 Ghost Spidey. That was mine. That was mine. And then I'm surprised he didn't get the number 41 Jane Foster. Had the number 42. And then Wes actually has the number 41 Jane Foster. Yeah, the number 42 Thor as well. Like, you might actually even have, this person might even have more Mighties than I had. The number 41 Buzz Lightyear, number 41 It Wasn't Me. I'm sorry, I'm going through. Number 41 Secret Rare Duckpool, Deadpool the Duck. Number 41 Cogsworth and Lumiere. This is like the craziest heckin' thing. 41 Mariachi, number 41. Ooh, Camilla Rose. Like, I can't even look at this. This is the most amazing thing. Crazy Dave says, last bull run, I had 15 collectibles and 9 comics, and my vault was valued at 17,000. I now have 44 collectibles and 143 comics, hoping the next bull run raises my current 3K value. I'm sure it will. Bill Gardner says, good job, Crazy Dave. At a nice smarty pants. Gardner says, I just got Soundwave reissue physical with one of the tapes in the unopened box because it makes me happy every time I see it. Super happy it does. Darth Chaos says, hello there. General Darth Chaos. Wes says, I picked up Loki Marvel Mighty first appearance number for 123, number 52. Yeah, that was good. There was one for I forget the number. There was one for, I think, 89 gems, but it was bought up. I had my eye on it. I wanted it. I just didn't have it. It was, but yeah, let's see what the price should be. Loki, he's at, all right, so let's say $12, right? So his sub 50, his sub 100 should be about 120-ish, give or take. And now the fact that his sub 100s, the minimum is $300. Yeah. So that you got it for 123. It's about in line with what it should be. It is relatively low, even for a sub 100. And yeah, the cheapest sub 100 now for Loki is $300. So you did a really good one. That was a good buy. And again, there was one like last week for 89 gems, and I didn't have it. And I didn't get it. Somebody else got it. And they got the good stuff. But yeah, I've been scouring the Mighties every single day, multiple times a day, because I'm crazy. Zolad Michaels is presently fixing a burst water pipe. From now on, my emergency fee is based on how much OMI I feel I deserve and how irritating the customer is after expenses, of course. Zolad, I love you so much. Take me with you. Bill Gardner says, I opened stage 2 account and I locked myself out by accident. I opened stage 2 account and Can you get back in? Omi Panda says, I moved from candy to banana bread today. It's a step up, I believe. I believe so as well. We've been eating a lot of stuff that is bad for us. Yuki says, thank you. Have a great new year. Thank you, Yuki. I hope you have a great new year as well. J. XRP says, what up, Pioneers? Yeah, what up? J. XRP says, I have the number 43 Cosmic Cthulhu. Oh, still in my crypt. I'm so jealous. I don't think I have any sub 100 Cryptkins. I have a whole set because they're awesome. Well, I think they're awesome, but Cosmic Cthulhu. Oof. I paid $215 for it. Down to $58 hairs. But I don't know if there is a sub 100 available on these. Oh, there are a couple. Number 67 for $199. It's not terrible. Not terrible. That would be the one I think to get, because the next cheapest after that is number 68 at $500. So if somebody, and it's held by Kanye West, I don't think that's really him. But yeah, that's you got number 43. That's a good one. That's a good one. Bill Gardner says, I gotta buy the Hoodie Miles Morales NFT. I already have a few of his comics. All right. Respect. That's good. Mr. Grip says, they mentioned a long time ago having to wait a year / figure out the legality or giveaways. I haven't heard anything lately. The auction Omi Burn would be good too, but also like Burning Supply. Yeah, I think it'd be great. That's a good point. I have to wait so they see what happens with that. Wubba Wubba says, what happened to Taps? Is not making content anymore. He's a guy. I'll let you know that Why did I take a vacation, Chavez? You haven't taken a vacation like ever since I've done YouTube. Um, you do get burned out, and people that you haven't seen videos from in a while, or for what, it's because you get that burnout. It's because there's other things that go on that you I mean, also, most everybody else has jobs. Part of the reason why I don't really take any time off outside of the vacation I took because it was my birthday and heck, I deserved it, is just because I don't work. I retired early last year, and I don't need to. But other people that didn't do what I did, they still have day jobs and they still need to, pay the bills, and you know, working happens to take precedence, especially if you have a family, especially if you have to pay for Christmas presents, especially, downside of having family, you know, got to spend a lot around the holidays. One of the downsides. Um, yeah, that's a big one. Um, so, other things take precedence over YouTube channel, especially when, I don't want to say there's not a ton going on, because clearly I can make content pretty much all day, every day, and it's just news happens every single day. Um, but people are busy and people get burned out and people need a break. They're like, well, we haven't seen Taps for months. I know, I get it. He was at Kahn and he did do content when we were in a bathtub together for an hour and a half. We were at it, making content, not the, oh God, I shouldn't, making a video for the YouTube. We were live. It was not kinky. Um, yeah, so that's about it. He's fine. He's just very, very busy. Smarty Pan says, "Yep, that guy had a lot of low mints as his goal. I like going for any mints for long-term ROI rather than pay a premium for long-term premium ROI." That's fair. That's fair. Smarty Pan says, "Different strokes for different folks." Agreed, 100,000%. Um, like I said, the guy the guy stacking Electras had a plan, and I was like, okay, I get it. I see you. I see you. JKLXRP, I have the number 41 Hawk Girl, Bigfoot, and Knight Rider. Nothing too crazy. That's pretty legit. The only 41 I've ever gotten was the Veve logo, which is great. Can't sell it, but yeah. Um, oh, you have the number 42. Oh, I think I remember seeing you have the number 42 Human Torch. I have the number 42 Nokia that I bought because it was on sale for like 53 gems. I was like, what? Yeah, yeah, it was wild. Smarty Pam says, got comic stacks too, like 60 copies of the rare Amazing Spider-Man 1 and hundreds in stacks of a few other good ones. After reach 400 Plutos, I'm going to try to stack more Goofies and more Thor first appearance, secret rare, and ultra rare. What is the yeah, what Goofies you got? Keep me posted. I have the set. I just don't have I don't have stacks of it. Oh my God. All right. I gotta. I appreciate. I the humor. I I really do. I don't even know if I should talk about this publicly or bring attention to it. Um, okay, yeah, I'll laugh at it because it's funny. Someone photoshopped me and Brittany walking down the aisle. I don't know what that is. That's clearly not us. It's hysterical. um, guys, everyone knows that we're not dating, right? That we're like, I'm about as single as you can get, and the I don't know if I'll respond to that while in public. Um, um, because I don't know how Brittany would feel about it. Um, because it's funny. It's funny. I will admit, at least they moved on from Wendy. Everyone used to ship me in Wendy. Who's the next one that they're gonna ship me with? I think until I get a girlfriend, I don't think any. I think a lot of the females that I just happen to have a conversation with, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, is it the new Mrs. Randy Chavez?" This is a dangerous game. This is not. Uh, I don't think I can have women on my stream anymore. Um. Anywho, let me. J Kill XRP says, Mrs. J Kill got 42 Human Torch on the drop. Epic. Oh, I love you guys. Dude, you guys are a great power couple. Drew says, good evening, Randy. Come join us in the first E2 spaces on Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It would be great to talk some E2 with you. It's this Friday? All right, I think I saw Kissy post about that. All right, we're in December. It'll be the 30th. Okay, so E2 spaces 9 a.m. Oh, that's a little early, but I'll try to be there. I'll try to be there. And I just I just showed the stream. I explained to them that we are very good friends, platonic friends, and no intimacy is shared other than friendship. Oh God, I explained to them that there is no intimacy other than friendship. But we can all still laugh. And I wonder who the next person they'll ship me with. Okay, all right, okay, moving on. Okay, that was it. Let's do some hunting for some Marvel Mighties, shall we? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do here? Actually, what I will do first, but before I go and continue with this stream, is I'm gonna go to my YouTube channel, and I'm gonna have everyone smash that like button. That is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks down below, super chats as well. We are going to go and do this market analysis. Let's see what we got here. First, we're going to try the Shuri Black Panther, because she's not in the actual set. You have to go to your collectibles, and you have to find her that way. The floor price of her is $120. Usually goes between $100 and $130, or $100, $120-ish. 123. I think a good. Well, honestly, there's one for 200 on here. Oh, actually, no, somebody bought it. Oh, no. So there's one for 200, and I would say that's not a bad price. But there's another one for 215, and another one for 225, and another one for 299. It's like, okay, the floor is not moving. Like the floor, like you can buy that, and the floor will increase $15. Really not worth it. Again, I think it's good, but it's not the best bang for your buck, I believe. I believe that best bang for your buck is probably going to come to another sub 100 that'll be different, which again is what I'm hunting for. Honestly, in general, M'Baku at $3.90, probably not bad. But yeah, his sub 100s don't have anything in that $39 to $40 range. Nakia, which again, I'm responsible for having a bunch of Nakias. She's only $4. She's been up to close to $5 at one point. So she should only be about $32 as well. But again, the cheapest for Nakia is actually $255. That's not that's not something that you should buy. Namor is at 68. Oh, so close to 69. And you can get him for 149, but then there's one at 150, there's one at 175, so the sub 100 isn't really worth it for him at this time. Okay, so we have Okoye. I know I'll just do the Black Panther Mighties and be done with it. Okoye is close to 5, but she is... Oh, number 42 is at 125. Not really worth it right now. Number 50 is 100, also not really worth it. All right, Queen Ramonda, again, the last two, she's at 377, which is weird that she's almost the same price as M'Baku. M'Baku, I think, is a bit better. And there's none of her that really... I mean, number 89 is 49 gems. That's about as close as you're going to get as something to a good deal. Riri Williams, though, there are 2 of her. She's 1150, so there's 66 and then 3. So she $69. I'm comment nice down below at 69. Should be a good price for a sub 100. And you see number 79 Riri Williams at 59, and number 93 Riri Williams at $60. So those are actually good buys. Those are in my price models. I would buy those, but I only have 70 gems left, and I don't want that to be the only thing that I, buy. Mrs. J. Kill, heart. Wubba Wubba says, uh-oh, Randy is blushing. I don't think I can blush. I just thought it was funny. Wes says, America Chavez, secret rare, 77 gems, seems undervalued since his first appearance and only... All right, so let me spin you a yarn here. Clearly, She-Hulk is a little more popular because She-Hulk sold out and America Chavez didn't. So She-Hulk is at about 86 gems, and, her sub 100, 54, 135, is 135. Oh, actually, that's my sub 100 at 135. It's actually not bad. Yeah, so the reason why I'm selling my sub 100 She-Hulk at 135 when she's 85 is because I really shouldn't. But I'll explain that later. The cheapest sub 100 in relation to She-Hulk. So it's $85.99. So let's say 86 times 1.55. So the secret rare, currently the floor is about, the sub 100 is 1.55 times the actual floor. If we go and we look at America Chavez, and we, fudge, okay. We got to go to the popular brands, and then we'll have to take a look at her that way. Okay, so if you take a look at the secret rare, yeah, it's 76, but you can see that that's a bot. So let's say 85 is the actual. Oh, K Collections is there too. She does great interviews. She interviewed me. I was her first interview. As far as nobody ever shipped me with her. So the 85 is about the floor, and the sub 100 is about 139, 140. Actually, the sub 100 is Deadly Combination at 125. So let's say 85. So that's about 1.5. So it's, but yeah, you're right. There's, but the 500 editions for the, not really, because, take away 90, because they keep the first 40 and then 50 additional. So it's actually 410 minus the 148. So it's 310, that's 302. So it's at 362. So there's actually only 362 in the supply that ever right now. Now you can buy one from the market if you get luck. You can buy one from the store, and if you get lucky, you'll get the secret rare. Let's take a look at the, no, I don't want that. Take a look at the ultra rare real quick, which is 23 doll hairs. Wow. And 23 doll hairs, the sub 100, I don't think I would pay. Yeah, the sub 100s don't really seem worth it right now for that one. But yeah, you can complete the set for literally like $110. Very, very cheap. J Kill says, I wish Veve had offers for Marketplace. Think they ever will? Yes, J Kill. I don't know when, but eventually the Marketplace will have offers. Yes. OMI Panda says, when you were talking about low mints, it reminded me of a person who listed an NFT for $1.40 and it was selling for $1,400. I've seen a lot of those in the good market. Yeah. If I were to ever see that, I would immediately buy it and then talk to Reese or whoever, be like, hey, this person clearly made a mistake. Because in Europe, 1.4 means 1400. But it's like, and I get it, it's a little confusing, but it has that extra screen saying you want to sell for this much, and this is the fee. When you see the fee as 30 cents and not, what it should be, it gets a little, yeah, it gets a little, they just click through it and they didn't actually read. Fam Bam says, Randy, hello, Vivi Fam Bam, how you doing? Girl, you haven't been on stream in a while. You've been sick. You haven't had a you haven't been around in a while, but I know you've been I got a message, Fam Bam, that says you and Britt, you're both great people. Like, oh my God. Can how do we what is the I gotta ask let's ask OpenAI chat. Okay. Let's go to here and say OpenAI chat. How do I convince people me and my friend aren't dating? And we'll see what an error has occurred. This issue person what? 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 I've never had this issue with OpenAI chat. Okay. All right. Maybe I left it open for too long. Open. All right. Let's see what we got here. We'll refresh, and then we'll do. All right. How do I convince people that I am single? It is not appropriate to try and convince people of your relationship status. Are you freaking kidding me? Your relationship status is personal information that oh god. Oh god, why is it going so slow? Why is it going so weird? Personal information that you are entitled to share or not share as you see fit. If you choose to not share this information with others, it is important to respect your own boundaries and not feel pressured to disclose anything about your personal life. If someone asks about your relationship status, you can simply say that is not something you wish to discuss or that is private. I'm clearly willing to discuss. I'm clearly willing to say, like that SpongeBob episode. I am ugly and I am proud, but it's AI. What AI's got some things that it needs to work on. How do I'm clearly wanting to show that I'm giving consent to discussing this. Like it's already being discussed. OMI Panda says, hey Fam Bam. Fam says, I think all my meds will kick in and hopefully tomorrow I will feel a difference. I hope so too. Fam says, maybe ignore everyone, they'll stop talking about it. I mean, clearly I didn't mention it for a while and then missed, It's a great photo though. The Fam says, hi OMI Panda. Oh, what is this? Oh, what is that? Oh, what the fudge? Okay, sorry, I missed a couple of things. Yo, Eddie Riso, number 1733, just sold on Veve. Floor price is now $1,750. That is a nice price. I wish I had that. I feel like Donkey. I was like, is that a boulder? That is a nice boulder. Oh, Donkey's so good. Dude, Eddie Murphy, I love you. Every single animated voice that you do. Whether it's Mushu from Mulan or Donkey from Shrek, just absolute mad lad. I gotta put that on there. Oh, Logan Paul tweeted that he invited CoffeeZilla to his podcast. Says, hey Steven, I'd love to extend the offer for you to come on Impulsive in person to discuss Crypto Zoo. Of course, we'll cover all flights and accommodations. Look forward to hearing back. Best Logs. He definitely doing some damage control. Oh, okay. So CoffeeZilla says he forgot to include my email. CoffeeZilla says, Logan invited me on a show, but didn't include the email 24 hours before this, where I invited him first onto my show, along with Eddie, Crypto King, and Jeff. Okay, I'm happy to fly Logan down or live stream it, but I'm not flying to his Crypto Zoo tax haven on New Year's. Basically, CoffeeZilla had said, It makes me sad to see you try to discredit my work, given how many times I've reached out in good faith. Nevertheless, once again, I want to invite you to tell you your side of the story on my platform. If you have nothing to hide, this should be a no-brainer. We can chat about everything CryptoZoo. I would extend the same invitation to Eddie, Jeff, and Crypto King as well. Honestly, anything that Crypto King is in, I would not do. Crypto King is very unknowledgeable about things that he claims to be knowledgeable about, such as Pokemon. As soon as we did a Pokemon deal, and he was liquid, and that's why I had to do the deal with him, because I needed cash for more OMI. But as soon as he told me about CryptoZoo, I was like, and the way he was explaining, like, this is not good. I did a few videos, a few live streams about it last year. Anyhow, all that matters is the truth, and the victims, and making things right for the single mothers, fathers, and kids who invested millions. Okay, that's a little. If you're a single mother, you're not investing millions of dollars in this, unless you happen to be in that 1% of 1%. I can even put you in contact with them if you'd like. I think they deserve to hear this stuff straight from you. Thanks, Stephen. Treasure says, okay. Yeah. He did a baddie. He did a big baddie. I mean, he's one of the biggest guys on the planet now, so we'll see where that goes. Bam Bam says, I know you haven't mentioned it, but the community likes to have fun is better than all the FUD. That's a good point. That is a good point. I will take all of the jokes if it means that the community doesn't FUD. Put me on Reddit/roast me, and give me all that roast. I love the roast. Like coffee in the morning. I don't drink coffee anymore. All Chat Gamers says, nice hat, broski. Oh, thank you. Tamara says, hi, Veve Fam Bam. Fam Bam says, hi, Tamara Hannah. They're buddies. They're buddies. We all met at Decon. Tamara says, Veve Fam Bam, I hope you are better soon. Ooh, Lordy. Oh, Lord have mercy. So somebody said before, this weekend I received the best Christmas gift ever from the man himself, Master You. Thank you, David. I will hodl this in my vault forever. Happy holidays, Veve Fam. And it was a Veve logo, gold and silver. And then I said, this is a future grail, congratulations. And then somebody laugh reacted, and somebody said, don't know how this statement can get a laugh react. Seems like one of the only sure thing grails. Yeah, people are weird. So, 8 weird. They're not 8 weird. They are weird. Okay. Well, no, if you already eat, I guess. What do we got? Some more stuff, y'all. Thumbnail. Oh, yep. Sitting here now, merging your data with mine to come up with a strategy that holds up across the board, regardless of the IP. Says, hey everyone, we have a ton to cover. That was a video breakdown that I did. I guess I did it earlier today. I do so much content, I forget what it is. J Collector P says, Blue Riso, Miles, Hoodie, or Spider 2099 Mighty, all the same price on Marketplace. Miles Hoodie is my first go-to. I know you said that Blue Riso was the next one that you wanted to. If I had the choice between those three for somebody else, and we take their personal likeness out of it, if we're going strictly on ROI, I think that Miles Hoodie is pretty legit. I mean, any of the Miles are really good. They're very low mint. If it was me personally, well, I already have 2 Spidey 2099s. One is a sub 100, and one is not. I would still say the Miles. One, because I don't have one, but also because I think that would be, unless they come out with like a mighty verse in the Veve verse, which there's been no evidence towards that whatsoever. The best ROI would probably be for Miles. I would say Miles, then I would say maybe Spidey 2099, and then I would say and again, I love the Riso. It's its own set. It is a secret rare. It is colored. He is my favorite Batman because he's so jacked. Because he's so like that's Batman. Like there's a bunch of skinny Batmans, and they're like okay, but that is like a hulking beast coming at you, and that is just like, that's what I think of. When Batfleck was Batman. And you just see him up on the wall, and he's just like, just awesome. It's just so cool. So yeah. Ed Feely says, "Did you see my tweet of you All in fun, but I did. I had a great laugh at that. It was a, it was a. I'll laugh at I'll laugh at anything. I don't care what if it's funny, I will laugh. If you could make it like I come from the land of 4chan. I come from the land of making fun of things that you should not make fun of. It's unfortunate that certain things are really funny. And I love comedy and I love that. And I love people that push the envelope. Um, as long as Brittany's okay with it, I'm okay with it. Um, either way, it's funny. Even if she's not okay with it, I'll be like, okay, don't do that. But yeah, yeah, I think it's funny. Fam Bam shared it with me. I'm sure she wouldn't have shared it unless we both would have thought it was funny. We'll see what she says. Honestly, you could make a meme of me, like my nudes could leak, and you could just make these like insane, robust, like horrendous things. And if they're funny, they're funny. Like it's it's just what I would think. Um, Cole T says, "Hey Randy, my friend Yusef, don't think this is live. Can you please address him and tell him to sell his Dogecoin by OMI instead?" Okay, Cole T. Yusef or Yusuf, Fusa. No, sorry, Yusuf. Listen, I'm not a financial. I mean, I am, but not your financial advisor. Um, I sold my Tesla stock. I sold my Bitcoin. I sold my Pokemon card. I sold everything for OMI, and it did good for a while. Like the Dogecoin millionaire, I had over $1 million, a good amount over, and I held, and I lost $1 million. And but that being said, again, most people don't have $500,000 to put in. Um, if I were to find a wallet, random wallet with $10,000 worth of Doge, I don't know how much you have, but let's say it's $10,000. I would not hesitate to sell it all right now and buy OMI, knowing full well that OMI could possibly go down over the next 6 months, 8 months. Just because we're in this giant bear market, in this giant recession, the max pain probably hasn't reached yet. Um, and I do that because OMI is very, very cheap right now, and it is hysterically undervalued for what it is and what it will be in the future. So, Doge is, it's got Elon pumping it, but it already has Elon pumping it. It already has, like, there's not too many other huge major catalysts that can really help it at this point. It already has the most popular man on the planet, the most famous man on the planet that has said multiple times to the moon, for Doge. Um, you haven't seen Veve, you haven't seen Disney come out with any OMI commercials. You haven't seen Disney come out with really any Veve commercials yet either. Yeah, there's been some ads here and there, but not mass marketing. OMI, again, Dogecoin has what did it have at its peak? Like a 90 something million-dollar market cap, or I'm sorry, a 90 billion something dollar market cap. For someone with no utility, is very impressive. But right now, I think Doge is still close to the top 10 or like top 15, whatever. OMI's not even in the top 100, and it very much deserves to be well within that top 20, and it will. What's the better ROI? It is not Doge. And again, not financial advice, not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you the reasons why I would do that with my money, because it's my money. Yours, obviously, you have to do what you wish, but yeah. Maybe Fan Bam, give me the smiley hearts. Ed Feely, Fan Bam says, "Hi, Ed Feely." She's laughing. Wes says, Robert Pattinson makes a good skinny Batman. I think that's an oxymoron. I don't think. Oh, okay, no. There is some, when like Terry McGinnis, he's a cool Batman Beyond. He's kind of skinny. I think he's still bigger than Robert Pattinson because if I'm bigger than you, you're not a good Batman. I'm sorry. If I, in my grotesque, disgusting noodle arm state, is bigger than you, you are not a good Batman. I do not. That is not a Batman that would last more than a couple of nights out on the streets attempting to fight crime. I do not believe him as Batman. I don't. He's not convincing. Like, granted, I grew up in the Christian Bale and Batman. Like I've seen only jacked Batman the last 20 years, 30. And even in the 90s, yeah, George Clooney's not really jacked, and I guess even in the 80s, neither was Michael Keaton. Um, but in the animated series, which is what I grew up with, yeah, he's he can take a punch. He could throw a punch. Um, they were drawn to have muscles, and then Christian Bale came along, and he was jacked for all three of his movies. And all the iterations since then have Batman as really, really yoked and really, really muscular, and um, that like it makes sense that if you're fighting crime and like guys that are in criminal organizations do not hire small, skinny people for security. They hire brawlers. They hire ex-fighters. They hire muscle. Um, you're not taking on those guys if you're 180 pounds, and you're just not, and you're just there's no muscle mass to you. To me that's an insult to what Batman should be. If we were in like the 1920s, sure, when nobody was really that jacked, and you just can throw a punch, and you're good martial artist, sure, that's fine. Nowadays, no. That is, I do not respect that movie. I think he kind of just took a crap on Batman. There are fewer things that insult me more than to take an epic part of my childhood and just make him this scrawny thing. Like Robert Pattinson, from what I've heard, is a very fine actor in a lot of his other movies that he's done since Twilight. And I saw this movie because I love Batman. I have some of his hero cards. I just I I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it at all. Yeah. Colty says he is convinced he will buy OMI instead. Huzzah! Super says, hey Randy, I want to know when OMI could reach $1, if it would even reach $1 per OMI level. Reason for this is that Veve removed my account as I can't log into it, and they did not contact me back. Definitely put in a ticket, but then did you try uninstalling and reinstalling? Did you try resetting your password? Like try those things, but yeah, also definitely put in a ticket. I don't know why they would do that. Keep trying. That sucks. But I would say OMI reaches $1, not this next bull cycle, but the next one after that, in like 2028, 2029, around that area. Oh, water's so good. And I guess technically it could reach $1 this bull cycle, but you'd have to have every single thing hit you'd have to have an extraordinarily bad 2023 where OMI gets even lower. OMI can get cut in half again. We burn tens of billions, and then next year when we do a land sale, we'd have to burn. We would have to burn over the next year and a half more than half the supply, and then, or about half the supply, and then we could do $1 once we finally start hitting everything, and then yeah, we'd have to burn a ton though. That's what would have to happen. We would have to be cut in half. We would have to do like 100 million in the land sale, all in OMI, and then at that point we'd burn like 175. Well, actually we'd burn about 200. We would burn a ton. Because then you could see OMI at a 90 or $100 billion market cap, and then it'd be $1 because we'd only have 100 something million. So yeah, that's something that I can see. And I was like, well, Chavez or Doge didn't reach that last time. Okay. In the next bull market, things aren't just going to go back to their all-time highs. More money is going to come in, and a lot of things are going to go higher. You think Bitcoin is only going to go back to 69,000? I think Ethereum's only going to go back to like 4,500? No, this goes much, much higher. Ed Feely, but yeah, most likely two bull markets from now, not 2025, probably 2029. Ed Feely says, "You and I are the same. I was big on Tesla and put all my money in OMI. This is the future." Ed Feely, this is the way. Michael Guzelian says, "Hey Randy, what's your view on VV?" I'll answer that 1 second. I just gotta. Oh no, we're good. We're good. Um, view on VV at this point in time, given that we only really accomplished cash payout and Ethereum migration over the last year. What are the OMI whale group saying? We're gonna be disappointed. Also, I would say we probably accomplished a little bit more in the smaller details, but I would say, I mean, remember again, it was earlier this year when we couldn't buy stuff on the market because the drop was happening. Well, now we can, and again, it's little things like that. A whole bunch of those that don't seem much at once, but when they're all together, yeah, they do make something. Um, I'm generally positive. I also I know what's coming. And no, it's not like insider information. It's with the data in front of me and reading, not just reading OUP, but reading it multiple times enough to understand what it means and understand what it takes to achieve those things. I know what's coming. I did a poll, and less than half the people that answered the poll even read OUP. Like they, and for a lot of people, it's not a priority. A lot of people, their priority is MCP, which is fine. Yeah, that's just what they like. I'm not going to tell you which one you should be, you should like more. It's just, for me, OUP is more important because I'm more heavy in OMI. For others, I guess MCP is more important because they're more heavy in sets and they don't have OMI. But most people do not. Most people do not know or care about OUP. At least according to my poll, which I don't know, like 1,000 people answered. So not a ton. Um, when you have when you have that, and you take a look at, even though MCP is not as big a deal to me, I still know it's very important. Um, when you understand everything that they're doing and you interpret all the data with, oh, hey, David has said multiple times that we have X, Y, and Z license, which meaning that we actually don't know what the licenses are, but they're a top tier A license, which has 50 million fans or more, and there's probably at least 2 or 3 of those that they haven't announced yet. Big things to come. Well, why haven't they said anything? They think they want to get through a bunch of the things that they need to get through first before that, and taking estimations on how much VV's worth and how much money they have on hand, and how much they pay out, which is a mysterious number that, for whatever reason, they refuse they refuse to tell. Um, I mean, if I get David on the podcast for a 4th time, I'll ask him, or just next time I see him, and I'll ask him if I can tell you guys. Um, the I'm not the most bullish I could be. The most bullish I probably could be would be in about 6 to 8 months from now, after we've hit bottom and we're ready to recover, and where I know. But again, even before then, you could get things like OMI to gem might take a while, but you can get some things in OUP that really start to burn OMI. And again, I never want people to lose money, but I think it would be great if OMI went down a lot and we started burning at that. And I want that to last a while, as long as enough as it takes for us to do a land sale while OMI's down there. That 99% probably will not happen, but just saying that it could. Yeah, I would say if we're going out of 1 to 100 being bullish, 1 being absolute bearish, I'm selling, and 100 being like I'm gonna cut myself open and sell a kidney. It would be 100. I would say I'm at about a 80 to an 85. Again, 100 being gonna actually sell an organ. I don't think I'd ever be there. But 80 to 85 is probably the highest risk that anyone would ever go to. Again, most people would not do what I do for good reason. Selling absolutely everything they own, where they have no money left, and it's just all on OMI. Okay, yeah, most people aren't doing that. Most people should not do that. Bless you. And I would say the whale groups. It depends. There's a bunch of I'll just talk about three. One is split where half are patient and the other half are like, I had so much money and I didn't sell, and now I'm beside myself that I didn't sell, and they're just sad. They know it's coming. They know we're gonna get tons of chances to sell, or if they want. Um, and the other half are just like whatever, you know. Um, the super private whale group is more unaffected because uh, even though they put in a lot more money than I did, they just are they in general have a lot more money than I do. So that Veve could burn up and could not exist tomorrow, and their OMI invest could be gone, and it won't affect their lifestyles at all. Um, so they won't really care. Um, they're happy that both Veve, well, half of them are happy that Veve NFTs have gone down because they're actively collecting. The other half that are really just in it for OMI is like, oh, I can get more, so this is good. That and they're like me, they're hoping it stays down for a while, which is fine. And then the other smaller whale group chat is just they're stacking. They're still fairly involved. They're just buy when it's boring. It's boring. Nothing's really going to move for the next 6 to 8 months, I don't think. Again, you could have some wild stuff when OUP comes out. There'll be arbitrage moments. We can get an exchange or two here or there, in the next 6 months. But I think the bigger change will be in the second half of 2023. And they're doing the right thing. They're dollar cost averaging. They're buying when it's boring, which is what you should do, in my opinion, not financial advice. So that's the breakdown of the whale groups, Michael. I hope that helps. Super says, thanks, Randy. These videos are amazing, but I wish more Earth 2 talks would go on. Super, I will be on a Twitter space on Friday, talking about Earth 2. And I do, yeah. It's just, when I got back from vacation, I did about, I think, 19 videos in about 5 days. And I had talked about Earth 2 in pretty much every single one of those videos. So I did a lot of content really quickly. And if there's, again, when I'm able to get either footage or use the test site for the side droids, I'll do another video or do more talks on that. It's just I did a lot of content really, really quickly, kind of burned myself out. So much so that I don't know if I could fill another video with Earth 2. I probably could because I can talk forever, but there'll be more Earth 2 stuff coming out. This is the latest video showcasing the game is fantastic. Oh, I know. I've gone over it. And Randy, I asked this knowing that you gave everything you've had financially for this project, Nomi, simply because the price is stagnant and arguably the token could be low in value for a very long time. Yeah, I think that it could be low for the next 6 to 8 months. And could it be lower for the next 18 months? I guess anything's possible. Probably not. It'll move by the second half of next year. That being said, it could get cut in half again. Like it could go down to 0004. Kay thinks it goes down between 0005 and 0006. He's been right on certain things before. He's been very wrong on certain things before. So we'll see where that happens. See where that goes. I just farted. I'm so sorry. Jason Lawrence says, LA City Fire Department in the house. How was your Christmas, Randy? Let's get this read. Yeah, Christmas was great. Went to the gym in the morning. Got some Dunkin' Donuts. Came back, had a giant plate of bacon, which I didn't know, and then I had some cinnamon. I ate so much. Christmas Eve was great too. Had some nice tequila. Had a bunch of stuff. So it was a really good couple of days. Did a bunch of laundry. Did a few videos. Played some video games. It was nice, relaxing days, and I had a lot of food. And I'm trying to work off that food. I jumped rope this morning, and yeah. Ed Feely says, I have a Cybertruck early pre-order. Should I sell? No, not financial advice. Ed Feely, I have 2 Cybertruck pre-sales. I don't know, did you buy the full self-driving? Because the full self-driving, I locked in at $5,000 for each Cybertruck. Oh, no, no, no. I think I locked them for $7,000 each. I think full self-driving is like 15,000 now. Let's see. Let's take a look. See. Um, how much is Tesla full self-driving? Yes, it is $15,000. So already my Cybertrucks have grown by $8,000 each. Um, if you have the full self-driving, keep it because that will only go up in value. That will not go down. That will only go up. And yeah, you will have a super fantastic time. Um, that and again, hopefully we get the Cybertruck in 2023. If we get it, great. I'm happy. If not, dude, if I have to wait till 2024 for my Cybertruck, I'm gonna lose it. It'd be so angry. I'll be knocking on Elon's door like, Elon, give me my Cybertruck. Now, I get it. It's a couple new pieces of technology. Like they literally had to invent a new casting machine in order to make this freaking thing. And then again, full self-driving on top of that, new battery cells. There's a lot of moving parts. They're all very technical. Yeah, so they have a lot going on. Jason Lawrence is laughing. Just glad to hear, bro. Smarty Pants 187 says, "Yo, Randy, you got a PS5? I used to be one of the world top trophy hunters, game completionist. You should meet my friend Ruby. She is also one of the most amazing gamers that I've ever seen, and clearly I know gaming. Um, yeah, she's a super fantastic, amazing. She was born American. She was in the army for a little while. She lives in Italy now. She was stationed there and just never left. Um, and yeah, she's a very she does OnlyFans now. She uh, she had a very complicated history, but yeah, she's very pretty. But she's a guy. Like she's not a guy. She's a beautiful girl, but she likes sushi, beer, and gaming. She is like the perfect dude in a girl's body. You know what I'm trying to say. Um, but that's all she does, and she's very, very good at what she does. Um, yeah, but I do not have a PS5, unfortunately. Um, maybe one day. Ed Feely says, "Yep, same self drive, but two wheel drive, 40K. Nice. Yeah, I got the tri motor as well. The tri motor, I think I don't know what wheel drive I got. I know. Oh, no, no, I got the dual motor, not the tri motor. I got the dual. The tri motor is like ridiculous. Smarty Pants says my completionism from video games is probably why I do the same on Veve. I understand 100%. Want to do 100% a game. Um, do you do speed runs? I imagine you do speed runs, or you have done speed runs. Um, there's a game, Super Mario Odyssey, where you know how things are called like, oh, glitch percent or whatever percent. There's a particular run in Mario Odyssey called nipple percent, where you complete it with him without a shirt on. It's called nipple percent for whatever reason. It's fun. Super says, did you watch the new Avatar? I personally liked it. I thought you meant Avatar: Last Airbender for a second because my friend's watching that right now, and they announced like two new properties for that Avatar. They announced a new Avatar, so after Korra dies, it's supposed to be in the 2020s. It's supposed to be Avatar with modern day technology, which is really wild. Um, how? Hold on. Ooh, every now and then I get really bad headaches. Um, oh my God, what the fudge? Okay, all right, we're good. We're good. Um, we would have yeah, which is great because in Aang he was like the 1800s, and in Korra you see her, 100 years later. They have cars and there's interesting stuff there, and so because avatars live about 100 years, you have Korra, or you have the new Avatar. It's gonna be an Earthbender 100 years later. But you're talking about the new Avatar. Um, they don't know how many they're gonna make. They know that they want to do at least four, depending on how. And this movie made a lot of money. The first one was the most amount of money forever until Endgame. I heard it was very good. I love the first movie. I want to see I want to see the new one. I still haven't seen Black Panther yet. I really need to go do that. Well, I'll wait for it to come out on Disney Plus. And then there's this movie called Megan. Yeah, right. I think it's Meg or Megan. It's about it's about this like mom that programs or creates an AI robot, but it's like a self-defense robot, and she creates it for her daughter. And she's like, "I've made you to protect my daughter." But when the AI robot gets like sentient and like when she says protect her daughter, the mom meant from physical threats, but the AI interprets that as like, oh, hey, now you're being a bad mom. This is not what you should be teaching. And then the mom's like, you need to shut down. And it apparently gets wild. And I want to see it so badly. But yeah, I heard the new Avatar is good. And G Flow says, Randy, you're the man. Thank you so much. Smarty Pants says, tell her to add me on PSN. I don't know if she does do that. I haven't talked to her in a while. I don't know if she does do that, but I will let you know. Smarty Pants says, I used to speedrun Super Mario World 3 on my Super Nintendo. It's impressive. I still have my systems. I have a collection of about 70-something consoles, and even have the complete N64 collection in box. Oh my god, you have 296 games? Oh my god, that's wild. So Super Mario 3, where I used to live, my friend Mark, his daughter Lauren, and I would play video games. And because she had the mini micro Nintendo that was like, broken, and it had like 300 something games or whatever. And there was some wild ones. Mario's naked in one of them. So we did, pinball, and we did bowling, and we did the original Mario, and then we did Felix the Cat, which is great. And then we got to Super Mario 3. And I was really good at the first couple of worlds and stages and levels, and once you get to like the ice level and some water, like these things get really, really hard. It took us almost a whole summer, but we beat it. We did it. We beat Super Mario 3. So the fact that you can speedrun that is super impressive, because I am not that good. That's really impressive. That's good for you. Where was I? Yeah, and the collection is amazing. It says everything from the original 1972 run one Meganovox Odyssey to current gen, even limited edition consoles from Japan. Dude. Smarty Pants, if we weren't friends before, we are now. BB Fan Bam says, I read that there are now 5 Avatar movies. They made them all back to back and will release them up to 2028. Really? Well, they definitely didn't make the first 2 back to back, because it's been over a decade. But maybe this one and the next few were made back to back? Oh, they must have worked on this for a long time then. A long time. But that'd be great. I would love to see it consistent of these back up to 2028. Oh, Super Mario Bros. 3, not okay. That's the one with with the raccoon tail on the cover, right? It's a yellow cover. He's got a raccoon tail on the cover, and he's like flying. Okay, gotcha. V Fanbam says they worked on them all, but did not want to release the second Avatar until they were all complete. Oh, that's a big gamble. Well, James Cameron, are you really gambling with him? Not really. He knows what he's doing. Smarty Pants. Super. Thank you for the super chat. It says, grapes support you on Earth 2. Ooga chaka. Ooga chaka. Ooga chaka. I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Sorry. Smarty Pants says, I also co-op speedrun Donkey Kong Country games, all 3 on Super Nintendo. It's so fun. Did somebody just say Donkey Kong? Oh, dude. I love Donkey Kong. And Super, thank you for the super chat. That means a lot. Smarty Pants says, yep, raccoon tail Mario on cover. Know the Mario. I don't know it as well as you, clearly, but I do enjoy the Mario. Hold on one second. When does the photo contest end? Ooh, so the photo contest ended today. Well, yesterday, and I announced the winner today. The original winner was Biscuits, and then Biscuits had a ooh, excuse me. Biscuits had a amazing pay it forward gift of kindness, and she said give it to the second place person, and the second place was Brittany. Was some girl Brittany. It was that definitely doesn't help the shipping. um, and I said, "Are you sure?" She says, "Yeah, no, like I do this like for a living. Give her the." So I was like, "Okay." So I messaged Brittany. She says, "Well, can we split it?" I was like, "Well, she gave it to you, and it's not a big prize. It was just 50,000 OMI." And I said, "Oh my god." So I gave it to her before. That was a sign. Oh yeah. So that did end, but I will be doing more. Jordan Rees will be doing more. Um, and the best, if you want to enter a contest now, it would probably be what I talked about in the first like 10 minutes of the video. It's the Pokemon contest with Kahn, where every $10 donation to one STRCF .org, you screenshot that and send it to queenscourt@gmail.com. Again, the links are down below. I might, actually, I might not see the links here because they might have been from too long ago. Yeah, they are. Let me find it for you real quick. Let me go to the photos, the library. Okay, so yeah, they would go. What the heck? Oh yeah. So you go to 1strcf.org, and then you click the red Donate Now button. Donate $10. You do PayPal, Venmo, credit card, bank account, whatever. And once the donation is submitted, you submit of the donation to queenscourtcharity@gmail.com, and then you could win a Gyarados card, a Gyarados from the Aquapolis set. And if you want to do a silent auction, the silent auction, all you have to do is submit your bid in US dollars to queenscourtcharity@gmail.com. That auction, it's worth, the flyer says it's worth about $250. This base set Charizard, I think is worth at least probably 400 or 500. And both of these cards come with Alcon's signature. In a PSA 9, this card would be worth $1,000. PSA 10, 8,000. And I think it gets a 9. So this card is definitely worth a lot. You get Al's signature on both, and on the top one, on the Charizard, you get a 15-minute phone call with Alcon. On the bottom one, it's still signed by Alcon, but it's you just don't get that phone call because he only has so much time. Smarty Pants says Donkey Kong Country is my favorite game on Super Nintendo. Respect for the tattoo. He's throwing a Pokeball too. It's a long story with that, but yeah. Jason Lawrence says that's rad. It is rad. I love that word. Haven't used that word in quite some time, but it is rad. Gary O comments fire, so I'm gonna put straight fire. Straight fire. Thank you, Gary O, for being an amazing supporter. Hammer time. Veve confirmed. Jason Lawrence says, I'm in. Get it? Yep. And they go to the First Responders Children's Foundation for children who lost parents and, that are first responders. So right up your alley. Big A's has just bought Ultra Rare Steamboat Willie for $333.33. Looked kind of cheap. I mean, considering that was like $10,000 at one point, yeah, it's very cheap. You got a good one. You got a good buy. Veve Fanbam says, investigating Avatar, it's impossible to have filmed the second back in 2009 due to the age of the characters, but maybe they filmed 2 to 5 recently, or possibly, yeah, they might have done that. recently. Wes says Brittany won the OMI. I mean, originally she didn't. I chose Biscuits, and Biscuit says, no, give it to the second place winner. I was like, okay. And then, Brittany was kind enough to want to split it. And I was like, well, she gave it to you, and, it's not a big prize. I'm just like, okay, all right. And so it's 50,000. It wasn't a lot. But yeah, well, again, the photo, I'll show you the photo. Hold on. I don't even know if I downloaded it. I hope I did, because it's a really good photo. Oh, was it on the Twitter? Yes, I did. So the photo, obviously it's a Veve photo down there with Alligator Loki over here. It is of me, Taps, and Brittany, and Loki. These are some of my favorite people. That is my favorite collectible. And we're in that cool, that's just one of my favorite moments in time. And yeah, she got me in the feels because it's a great photo. But I chose to do the art. I was like, again, I didn't just pick a random photo. Like it was the best photo, or one of the best photos. Obviously, Biscuits won. Jason Lawrence says, my station will donate a few $100. It's all about paying forward and taking care of our own. Wow. Make sure when you do it in $10 increments so you get more chances to win. Yeah, I've got a few, and then for the silent auction, I mean, I'll throw in a bid of 250, but it's not gonna it's not gonna win. That silent auction will probably get, yeah, that'll get a lot. That'll get a good amount. That'll be, I don't know what it. I mean, again, $1,000 will definitely be worth it because the card will probably grade a 9, and then you have obviously the Kahn phone conversation, 15-minute call, and then you have outside of that, you have him signing it, which gives it an even added value. Fambam says, and Fambam took the pick, so that made it the best photo. That's a good point. It's a good point. Fambam did take the pick. Oh yeah, it's the same day where Jason Lawrence says, I remember that day. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, that was. And so we'll have a couple more times like that where it can still be relatively small and relatively intimate. But be advised, there's a meme that says, I wish I knew when we were in the good old days, when the good old days was still happening. Guys, this is the good old days. I know bags are down, and I know that it sucks seeing your account in the red. We are privileged to be here because we're the first ones here. We're the pioneers. There's not a crazy ton of us right now. I think there's 17,000 active wallets this week that traded. In the next couple years, add a couple zeros to that. There won't be 170,000 active wallets. There'll be 1.7 million active wallets. And then the cons are going to get crazy. And then it's going to be wild. Then there's going to be, oh, hey, there's not just 500 people at a convention. Suddenly there's 10,000 people at a convention. And it's, yeah, that's going to be wild. That's going to be insane. So the fact that we get to spend this time intimately and know each other really well, I think that puts us in the good old days, even though our bags are down. I mean, we're paying for it, but it's that's what makes us the good old days, I think. And also, not success does things to people, and again, people get burned out. You're going to have some people that just get tired, and you have to wish them well, and you have to go and say, like, okay, I love you, and we're going to miss you in the community. Some people are just maybe won't do well with the spotlight, and there will be some people that are just like, oh, hey, I've never had this much money before, how do I know who to trust? And, you know, um, yeah, so you gotta, some people have to reevaluate every now and then, and you have to say, like, okay, we're here for you, and we have to um, accept that certain people might leave. And not that they'll leave Veve or leave, they just, they're gonna be like, okay, I have a lot of money, I have to go learn how to take care of this, and then we'll come back. And it'll be great. It'll be like seeing an old friend. Now, where was I? Fan Bam says, hi, Jason Lawrence. It was cool to meet y'all. I have pics of Taps in the fire jacket. Looks real. Actually, I have my. Yeah. Oh god. Los Angeles City Fire Department shirt right here. Heyo. Yeah, just doing. Oh god. My body. Some laundry before. Okay. Here we go. Big A says, hey Randy, Merry Christmas. Been listening to you since you started. I've been playing Battlefield and it was an intense teabag war with Chavez Megacity. I love that. I hope you won. Hope you got to teabag him really hard too. Ed Feely says we will laugh about this later. Enjoy the ride. Of course, of course. BB Fan Bam says this is absolutely the good old days where we are still a smaller community and have grown close to each other. Oh, my friendos, I miss you guys so much. Ed Feely says, I can see through fake people. You, BB Fan Bam, Taps are the real deal. Oh, why, thank you. I'm glad to see that you see that we are real, I think. I mean, you remember that episode of Loki where it's like the first episode where he has to go through things like, if you are not human, if you are not flesh and blood, if you are robotic, then you will just disintegrate. And he's like, how do I know if I'm robotic or not? And they're like, well, he like hesitates. How do we know if we're real people? How do we know if we're not a simulation? And I think we are. I mean, take a look at, God, who is the person that did the experiment? Thomas Young. So Thomas Young did an experiment saying like, okay, these light is, is it a particle or is it a wave? So he does the famous double slit experiment. He has like a candle and then he puts a green cover on the candle so that the green candle or the candle only emits green light. Puts it through one slit. There's a sheet of cardboard with a slit in it, slit like this big, where the light goes through. And then he's got a second piece of cardboard with two slits in it. And the third piece of cardboard where the light will hit. And what does he find? Well, he finds that there's reference points in it. It finds that, oh, hey, light behaves like a wave. Really interesting. Or originally light behaved like a wave, but then in this one it says like, well, the reference points behaves like a wave. But when they got super small down into it, and they say like, okay, the super smallest part of light is a photon. Let's see what happens when we're able to look at all of these photons go through these slits. It's like, okay, well, there's left slit, right slit, right slit. Well, it'll be random. You can watch it all day, it'll be random. And then on the third piece of cardboard, suddenly it was not acting like a wave. It was acting like a particle. And like, wait a minute, what just happened? And basically that tells you that photons can tell when they're being looked at. In every single experiment that has ever been done like that, it's all the exact same way. The photon's behavior will change depending on if you're looking at it or not. And there's no one on this earth that understands it yet. I have a theory. Well, it's not my theory, the simulation theory, but I think that suggests or confirms that we're in a simulation. It's like, hey, we know where we are in this particular part of the video game. And we know that on this end, there's a castle and there's trees and there's other things. but we don't see it yet because we haven't. The video game hasn't rendered it so yet. We have to get to a certain point, and then when you go and you see, you get to a certain part. Oh, now it's there. It's like the computer is saving processing power by not doing that unless you look there. What is what are photons? What is human? What is this weird thing we call life? It seems like there are rules, like there are mathematics, but every now and then, because it's computer code, things glitch. And again, I'm not saying for sure that this is computer code or not. It's just, and I know this is a super weird statement based on Ed Feely saying you're real people, and I thank you for that. But how do we really know? Anyway, like, super out of left field, like William Holden there. It's a Gilmore Girls reference. Walrus King says, "Hi everyone, love the space." Ah, I love the space too. Bam Bam says, "Ah, Ed Feely, thank you very much." Lawrence said, Jason Lawrence says, "Vivi Fam Bam, you as well. Love you guys. We all have to get together again soon. Randy, you gotta wear the shirt next video." I have to do laundry, but maybe two videos from now. I have more laundry to do tomorrow, so I will jump rope tomorrow. I will do laundry. I'll do a video, but then tomorrow night's live stream, I will try to wear it for tomorrow night's live stream. In fact, I will put the shirt in the laundry so that it is ready to be done tomorrow. Yeah. VV Family says, "Can't wait for another get together." Oh, I know. So Fam Bam's been very, very sick recently, and she has a trip that she has to do in, I don't know when, but I think the next time a few of us will be together will be for Eva's birthday. Eva from Viviversity. She'll be turning 30 in January. It's next month. And we might get a little get together, just maybe. So hopefully Fam Bam can come for that, but again, she's got another trip. It is very short notice, so we'll see. Ed Feely says, "True, very deep." I feel like I lost a couple people there, but it's okay. Ed Feely says, "That's what I'm talking about." Huzzah! Fire. Oh, Ed Feely, Gary O is a cool dude. Oh God, excuse me. Hiccups. Ed Feely says, "But I think you're overthinking it. We aren't special. We aren't special. I think we aren't different than ants. We don't have souls." I'd like to think we have a soul. Like, I hope I have a soul. I don't want to say it's like not like a Horcrux where it's like fractured, but yeah, I think people's souls over the course of life, like a body, can get wounded, it can get cut and damaged, and but I also think it can heal too. I mean, in Supernatural, Sam lost his soul for a while. I mean, spoilers. Souls are used. I think they're very powerful. But again, that's just me. I love Supernatural. I love the show. I love everything about it. I've also been streaming for a little over 2 hours, so I'm going to go and oh lordy, lordy. He's liking this. I gotta. Who are the people liking this? All right, I'll Ed Feely. I'm gonna go and comment on the photo that you shared with a laugh react, and then Wes with the heart. That's a fun one. That's a fun one. Jason Lawrence says, "Heck yeah." Ed Feely says, "Do dogs have souls?" When I look, like, especially in a dog that like loves you, like, look into their eyes, 100% you're looking at another conscious being. 100% you're looking at like a beautiful soul. Again, it's the dog that loves you, and dogs are so. There's like a meme that I read once that's like, okay, here's a test to see who loves you more. Take your girlfriend or boyfriend, partner, whatever, and then take your dog, put them both in the trunk of a car, and then drive around the block. Don't tell them what's going on. Don't explain. And then open the trunk and see who's happy to see you when you open the trunk again. And the dog's gonna be happy to see you. Your partner won't be. Your partner will be like, "What the fudge?" You know. Dogs just want nothing in return. They just want love, man. So part of the reason why I, am partnering with Best Friends Animal Society and to go and help them on their goal of making every shelter a no-kill shelter in America is because one, because I love dogs and they should be treated well, but also because one of the consequences of that is getting a dog into appropriate homes, or every home that could foreseeably have a dog in it to get it. Because I'll tell you this, a lot of men are lonely, and a lot of men are very touch starved and they're love starved. Like, ask any man, doesn't matter what age, what their favorite compliment was from a woman. And I guarantee you they've memorized and have thought about each compliment a woman has given them. I'll say this is about 80% of men, that they've ever given them, because they receive so few. And again, I say this because it's the Pareto distribution. 80% of women go for 20% of men. So that other 80% of men are not getting diddly squat. Like, I think 1 out of every 3 men under the age of 30 have not had sex in the last year. So what happens with that is that you have a lot of men that just don't get a lot of love. When they can fill that hole, that lack of love, with like a dog's love, they're going to become better men. And it's not just single men. It's not just simps, incels, whatever. It is men that maybe don't get a lot of love from their kids or their wife because maybe they're a little cold, they're a little jaded. Men will become better husbands, they'll become better fathers, become better brothers, whatever, when there's a dog in their life. Because, oh, hey, again, how can you be a complete person if your life lacks love? How can you be a complete, like, it's very, very hard. When you have men's who's, and again, I love women and respect and love everybody in this world, but women get a lot. Women have the opposite problem, where they don't know who's being genuine and who's not. But yeah, they get a lot of love, and I feel like a lot of men do not. And I'm not saying that men are the better sex. I'm not saying that, like, both, obviously men and women have their uses. But there's a lot of disenfranchised men out there that really have it rough. And I think one of the consequences of getting dogs in homes is that when you have better men, you have better husbands, you have better people, the rising tide raises all ships. And I think we don't know the limits of that. And I'm curious to see where that goes. So it's like my little, very expensive science experiment. Walrus King says, I think we're all connected. The Viviverse reinforces that, in my opinion. Let's go. If you'll give me the thumbs up. Sub-Zero says, it's the eyes, Chico. They never lie. Yeah, eyes, windows to the soul. Ed Feely says, so do dogs think about death? I mean, there are countless dogs that have seen dead dogs, and there are countless dogs that kill bugs and kill litter mates, and I'm assuming seen their owners die, and I don't know if they can comprehend what it is. Like, really. I mean, they have, when a dog's owner dies and nobody comes in to feed that dog, I mean, the cats will eat the owner pretty quickly. The dog, I assume, has to, right? I mean, think about what they have to go through. It's like, okay, I need to eat, as my owner, but I don't know. I think dogs can understand a little bit. Like, I think they know. Because they get, so if I were to ask you, out of these three animals, which ones can have nervous breakdowns? Is it gorillas? Is it chimps? Or is it dogs? You might think chimps, maybe gorillas, but it's actually dogs. Dogs are one of the only other animals, I think, on this planet that can have nervous breakdowns. And that's because I think the bond is so deep, but I also think they can understand it, at least to a sense. How often do they think about it? Probably not a lot. um, so part of the reason why I don't want to get in another relationship also is because I want to be with someone that loves animals. The last girlfriend I was with, she was a veterinarian, and I miss her cats and I miss her dog every day. I miss her too, but I'm talking about animals here. Um, and that's not fair. So, that's another big reason. Not going to do that. Ed Feely says, one thing I learned is whatever get you to wake up the next morning, religious, etc. Sorry to be deep. No, it's all good. I was listening to was it Walter Goggins? David Goggins? Let's Google this real quick. Ooh. Is it Walter or David? I think it's Walter Goggins. Oh, no, maybe it's David Goggins. American runner. He is much more than that, good sir. Yeah, so David Goggins says that he does not set an alarm. Says because like his passion gets him up every day. And it's like, man, that guy is so motivated. I want to be like that guy so much. Like he's also a retired Navy SEAL, and he's done so many amazing things. Like so many, like go. He's done so many amazing things in his life. I would say, yeah, whatever wakes you up in the morning. It's like when Tony Stark is asking Spider-Man, "Hey, what gets you out of that twin bed in the morning?" It's, you know. Um, I also think that if you have a Ron Paul said, if you have the ability to help in a situation, you have the moral obligation to do so. I kind of believe that too. Um, I don't know if you would have a. You get the feeling someone's watching you, and I don't mean dashy. I know what that stare feels like. Anyway, um, I mean, for me, it's I don't know, having fun. It's this, and you have the long term goal of going and making a bunch of money with OMI and VV, but it's for the animals. That's at the end of the day, that's what it is. Um, but I think now it's really just trying to get my body back, really trying to get in shape, and even though the diet's not great, the working out part is really fun. I've missed this. This is a good time. Unfortunately, it's winter and it sucks, but it's been fun. Jumping rope in 20 degrees and driving a jet. Yeah, it's a good time. I'm having fun. It is David. All right, cool beans. Well, I've been streaming for about almost 2.5 hours, so I'm gonna take a dip. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And I would like to say thank you to Super for the super chat. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Thank you for spending time with me. Wraithx.eth domain name is really cool. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, subscribe.